It's been a whirlwind couple of months for us here at Borussia Dortmund. After a disappointing and inconsistent start to the season, we really hit our stride after January, and we ended up not only qualifying for the Champions League, but also winning the DFB Pokal. Although we finished the season strong and managed to put a trophy in the cabinet, we still didn't live up to our lofty preseason expectations. We actually only achieved one objective this season, and that was to finish in a Champions League place. Our reward for doing that is that we can sign a player for under 20 million euros without processing it through CoreDNA. However, we failed to reach the semi-finals of the Champions League, so we're going to have to sell 2 top players this summer. Our top players are our 5 highest in overall, so that means Nico Schlotterbeck, Julian Brandt, Marcel Sabitzer, Serhou Guirassy and Felix Metscher are all going to be on the market this summer, and we're going to be losing our best youth academy players too. We failed to play 5 under-21s in 10 games or more this season, and that means we need to release our 3 highest overall academy prospects. So Luka De Konik will never make an appearance for the Dortmund first team, neither will Marco Fischer, neither will Gaspar Dumont. However, we will be promoting 3 youngsters to the first team this season, and those will be Diego Rossetti, the Italian centre-back, Leo Fontana, the Italian centre midfielder, and Lucas Lackner. Brandon Naylor continues to be our highest potential prospect in our youth academy, but at just 15 years of age, still not eligible yet for the first team. And although Youssoufa Moukoko had an excellent season, finishing with 15 goals and 3 assists, that wasn't quite enough to achieve our player target objective this season, so we need to play Max Bayer in as many or more games as Moukoko in the upcoming season. But with 15 goals and 9 assists of his own, Max Bayer had an even better season than Moukoko, so has probably earned that playing time anyway. And we did, of course, fail to achieve our long-term objective of winning the Bundesliga, which means we only have 2 seasons left to achieve that objective, or Nuri Sahin's going to be losing his job. Today's video is sponsored by Enigma Football, the UK's leading supplier of football shirt mystery boxes. Whether you're looking for a fun way to expand your own football shirt collection, or you're looking for a unique gift for the diehard football fan in your life, Enigma Football have got you covered. Their mystery boxes start at just $34.99, which is almost half the standard retail price, and you can be 100% sure that their shirts are authentic, because they get them straight from the clubs and manufacturers themselves. And you can reduce that price even further by using code LAMBZY at the checkout for 10% off your first order. That code applies to any single football shirt mystery box, and it also applies to the first month of any mystery box subscription package, where you receive a fresh new shirt on your doorstep every single month. You can be sure you'll get a shirt that you like too. You can ask Enigma Football to send you a shirt from a specific league with a specific color or pattern, or to avoid certain teams, and if you still don't like what they send, you have 60 days to either return or exchange it. So head over to Enigma Football and place your order today. The link is in the description, and be sure to use code LAMBZY at the checkout for 10% off your first order. Shout out to Enigma Football for sponsoring the video and for hooking me up with a couple of shirts, including a Dortmund shirt for this series. Now let's get back to the video. Our achievements last season, however, did give us 2 additional DNA and 2 additional trait points in Buzzko's CoreDNA skill tree. We're using our DNA points to unlock 2 additional tiers in the employment strand. That'll give us the ability to unlock Locked In, which will allow us to reject all offers for players in their 3rd season at the club. And we'll see why that could be so influential in just a moment. We're also going to unlock the Resourceful trait, which is going to add an additional 5% of all merchandising revenue to our budget each season. We made 182 million euros from merchandising last season, and that, as well as Gregor Kobal's 110 million euro move to Man City, is going to give us a starting budget of just under 127 million euros heading into season 3. However, it's possible we could be working with up to twice that amount. Our top 5 players have a combined value of about 350 million euros, and we're going to be selling 2 of them. However, it's not going to be entirely up to us who we sell. Instead, we're going to be spinning the wheel that features the 5 names of our top players, as well as 1 manager's choice, and the first name will be Serhou Guirassy. Now, the reason we used our trait point on Locked In is because Guirassy is just entering his 3rd season here in game, so we are technically protected against selling him. However, with the emergence of Max Bayer and Youssoufa Moukoko, I think I would be happy enough selling the big man. We have actually already received an offer for him from Manchester United. And with a bid of 71 million euros, they have met the player valuation in Buzzko's realistic selling calculator. So I'm happy enough to accept this offer and move on from Serhou Guirassy. However, we do, of course, need to sell not one, but two top players. So that means spinning the wheel again. And the second player we are going to be moving on from is Julian Brandt. Brandt is our second highest overall player, but I was very worried for a moment that it was going to fall on Nico Schlotterbeck. Schlotterbeck is by far our best defender. He's the captain of the team, and he's been a rare, consistent presence in a very inconsistent defense. Julian Brandt, on the other hand, doesn't really have a true home in our new 4-2-4 system. We've been playing him out on the left-hand side, but really is more of a true number 10. So although he's unbelievably talented, although he's synonymous with Borussia Dortmund at this point, we will be adding Julian Brandt to the transfer list. Now, Julian Brandt's player valuation is a massive 115 million euros. However, Atletico Madrid have come in with a swap deal, 46.5 million, and Rodrigo de Paul. I've no interest in De Paul. I have no real interest in a swap deal at all. So we will try and negotiate them up to around that 100 million euro mark. And instead, Atletico Madrid come back with another player exchange. Not sure if Madrid are a little short of funds this summer, but we will be standing firm on a 100 million euro valuation. And it doesn't look like a deal is going to be getting over the line with Atletico Madrid at the very least. I'm sure there's somebody out there willing to pay 100 million for Julian Brandt, though. Whilst we wait for those offers to roll in, I think it's about time that we replaced Gregor Kobel. We gave Marcel Lotka and Louis Waters a chance to win the job last season. Neither were particularly impressive. We're going to be sending Louis Waters out on loan this season, and Lotka is on an expiring contract. So we will need to use our single first-team player transfer this year on securing a new number one. We've been scouring the globe for talent, and there's a number of directions we could have gone at the position. I was incredibly tempted by Bart Verbruggen, but with that 77 million euro release clause, I think it would have been a little unrealistic to bring him in. So instead, we're going to be going with fellow Premier League goalkeeper Dore Petrovic. We'll be trying a transfer bid of 30 million euros and offering Petrovic 90,000 a week across 4 years. And both Chelsea and Petrovic agree. So Dore Petrovic does become our first signing here in Season 3. At 26 years of age and 81 overall, he's certainly good enough to be our number one for the next couple of seasons. But depending on how Louis Waters develops over the course of his loan spell, he could well challenge Petrovic for the shirt in a year or two. Now, we can't bring in any more first team players in this window, but I do want to add a couple of youngsters, starting here with Celtic's Arnie Engels. Former Augsburg man has really impressed during his time in the Scottish Premier League and has proven that he deserves another chance in the Bundesliga. So he'll be trying to learn as much as he can from Marcel Sabitzer over the next year or two to try and take his game to the next level. And in addition to Engels and Petrovic, Thiago Thomas will also be joining the squad this summer. Technically listed as a striker, the 24-year-old is a versatile attacker. He can play off the left-hand side, and although he'll be taking Serhou Guirassy's number 9, he'll be playing behind Youssoufa Moukoko and occupying that false 9 role for us most often. Whilst we haven't yet received a 100 million euro offer for Julian Brandt, we could recoup the money spent on Petrovic, Engels, and Thomas with that single sale, and we have received 2 additional offers, one from Arsenal, one from Aston Villa, each of whom were happy to come up to 100 million. So it's going to be up to Julian Brandt to decide where he wants to play. And surprisingly, he picks Aston Villa over Arsenal. So it's a solemn farewell from Borussia Dortmund to Julian Brandt, but I do think his departure truly signals the beginning of a new era for the club. An era that will be led by the likes of Nico Schlotterbeck, Felix Metscher, and a young, dynamic front line of Adeyemi, Bayer, Moukoko, and Jamie Gittins. And we can usher in this new era by putting a trophy in the cabinet immediately. We'll be taking on Bayern Munich in our featured game of today's episode in the Super Cup. I'll also show you highlights of our home opener in the Bundesliga against Frankfurt, and we'll finish out today's episode by quick simming our game against Holstein Kiel. So no Nico Schlotterbeck for this one. He's still nursing that injury that he picked up at the very end of Season 2, but he should be back shortly. There are places on the bench for the new signings Thiago Thomas and Arne Engels. Bekir Omaracic gets the start alongside Anton at the back, whilst Jamie Gittens starts ahead of Matoma, opposite Adeyemi, and alongside Max Bayer and Yusuf and Mukoko up front. And in Nico Schlotterbeck's absence, Felix Mmecha will wear the captain's armband today. He's been promoted to vice-captain after Julian Brandt's departure, alongside Marcel Sabitzer. So without further ado, let's head out for the German Super Cup, see if we can get off to a better start this season than we did last season by putting our second trophy in the cabinet. Not sure how prestigious a trophy the German Super Cup is. Judging by the fact that we're playing in front of about 10,000 people, I'm guessing not very prestigious. However, I am more than motivated to win this game, as Jamie Gittens immediately in behind, one-on-one with Joshua Kimmich. But we'll just go back to Jakub Kiwior. I think winning this game would not only put a second trophy in the cabinet, Gittens once again, but would also send a shot across the bow of Bayern Munich. Munich have, of course, won the Bundesliga each of the last 2 seasons, as Kiwior somehow allows it to go out of play for a Bayern Munich throw-in rather than a Borussia Dortmund throw. But Munich, having won the Bundesliga the last 2 seasons, continue to be the dominant team in German football, continue to be the team to beat. As Musiala plays Kane in behind, and it's a big save early from Dorde Petrovic. The only new signing to be making his debut here against Bayern Munich, and well positioned at his near post. He makes a good, solid stop to get his Borussia Dortmund career underway. Jan Kuto heads clear from that corner. And Adeyemi steals the ball away, and I think the referees said that he's used a hand to do so, which is brutal because Karim Adeyemi would not have been caught there. Had 60 yards of green grass ahead of him. No Bayern Munich defender would have been able to catch him. But as we said, Bayern Munich, the dominant team in German football, and we are looking to become that dominant team. So I think coming away with a win here would send a shot across the bow of Bayern Munich and really signal to them, not only is this a new era for Borussia Dortmund, but that they need to be watching their back, because things are going to be different in the Bundesliga, in the Champions League, in the DFB Pokal. We're hoping things stay exactly the same. Wouldn't mind going back to back in that competition by any means. Max Bayer finds Adeyemi, Jan Kuto, Felix Mmecha taking on an even more prominent role. He really came into his own towards the end of Season 2 and has been awarded the captain's armband in Nico Schlotterbeck's absence as a result. Anton finds Omaracic, likely going to play a more prominent role this year as well. Omaracic is going to be our primary substitute at the back, as Gittens may just be offside, and he is. Schlotterbeck, Anton certainly our starting pairing at centre-back this year. But Omaracic will be looking to get on the field as often as possible, and he's not far behind Anton in the pecking order, to be fair. Very much like the signings that we've made this summer. Not only Petrovic in goal, but Engels in centre midfield is going to deputise to Zabitzer this year and likely step up into that role himself next season. Merlin Röhl is going to provide competition for Engels, though. Harry Kane lays it off for Elise. Anton there. Forced to shot from a narrow angle, which Petrovic again is equal to. And I think Thiago Thomas up front could be really useful as well. Very versatile attacker. And I think that's what we need across that front four, versatility. We're going to be mixing and matching the different pairs up front and on the wings. So we need to get this ball clear. We don't manage to do so, but Petrovic thankfully comes out to claim. I think it's going to be mix and match across the front four this year. And Thomas can play a number of those different roles. As Gittins again is in behind, finds Max Bayer, shoots from range, save from Noble. Bright start to this game though, from both sides. Slightly bright from Bayern Munich, you would have to say. But I think with the pace and dynamism that we have up front, that we're going to be able to hit Bayern Munich on the counter-attack. We've shown we've been able to keep possession, even with only those two in midfield against Munich here already as well. Need to be wary of their front line. Harry Kane, Musiala, Elise, Ben Seguir. It's a forward line that we've seen on a number of occasions now. Well cut out by Kimmich. And again, you get the throw though. Approaching the 20-minute mark in the game already. First half flying by. Petrovic excellent with the ball at his feet as well. And plays the ball out to Adeyemi, who brings it down very well. Cuts in off the right-hand side, gets his shot away, but it's blocked easily. That was one of the reasons we wanted to go with Petrovic over some of the other options that we had available to us. Is how good he is with the ball at his feet. Kane blocked easily by Omaracic. Jan Couto. A little bit of miscommunication there with his centre-back colleague. And Couto mistakenly just puts it out for another Bayern Munich corner. Looks like they're going to be going short this time with Elise. They don't. They do deliver. And the header won by the Bayern Munich man. But a comfortable save for Petrovic. But we do have a man down in the box. And I think it's Jamie Gittins. That would be less than ideal. He's looked very bright to start this game. And we do, of course, have Matoma. We really do have depth at all positions, really. We are kind of too deep at, I would say, pretty much every position. And it is Jamie Gittins who's picked up the knock. Yusufa Moukoko drops in. Zabitzer finds Mecha. And Kivior finds Gittins once again just about. One-on-one with Kimmich. Turns to take him on. But just retains possession once again. We'll have to keep an eye on that Gittins injury. May have to bring him off at half-time and potentially even before. Again, he goes one-on-one with Kimmich, though. Manages to find a route to deliver the ball into the box. But I think we're going to find less and less success with crosses this year without Guirassy up front. We have Max Bayer and Yusufa Moukoko to aim for, and Bayer is going to be a decent target in the box, but certainly not the target that Serhou Guirassy was. Deep cross. Zabitzer can't win the header. Elise manages to do so. And Omaracic can't win the header either. Harry Kane nods it down. Ben Seguir on the edge of the box. Stood up by Felix Mecha. Thankfully the shot in the end straight at Petrovic, who will find Gittins immediately. Who will look to switch the play to Adeyemi, which he has done excellently, and Jan Couto in behind. And there is Max Bayer at the back post, and we will find him, who heads it back across goal. And I think the linesman's flag is up, and it is. Just as we were talking down Max Bayer as a target man, he pops up with a header back across the goalkeeper, and it's just offside. He's offside by an eyebrow. Very, very narrow. Really, we should have the lead here. That's level. Oh, what a ball that is with the outside of the foot. Petrovic on the front foot, though, out to collect. He'll just throw the ball out to Couto. We'll find Mecha. And nicely worked through the feet of Adeyemi and back to Yan Couto. Spires come across to take the ball short this time, though. And Adeyemi, having played the ball into the feet of Yan Couto, it's taken some time to take up a useful position once again, and we have to go via Mecha. Gittins beats his man. Covering defender comes across and deals with it, though. And Gittins still is ailing from that injury. I think we're going to have to bring him off before even the half an hour mark. So I think it is going to be an appearance from Kaoru Mitoma after all. I was in two minds whether to start Mitoma or Gittins today. Thought we'd go with the youngster. It's a great challenge from Zabitzer. And just finds the feet of Yusufa Mukoko. And again, we will just retain possession. We want to play on the front foot this year. We want to be direct. We want to be aggressive. We want to be clinical and incisive. But we don't want to waste possession by any means. If the quick counter-attack isn't on, we just keep the ball. We don't need to force things. Mecha out towards Gittins. Kivior once again. And Anton just going to go all the way back to Petrovic. It will find Kivior with a chance to drive, and a support pass will give us an opportunity to make that change, though. Jamie Gittins' first appearance of the season unfortunately cut short, and we hope he's not going to be missing too much time. We do, of course, have Julian Duranville as a bit of depth this season as well. He'll be looking to take on a more prominent role if Jamie Gittins does have to miss significant time. And really, he's going to be one of the players this season playing for their Dortmund career, because he is in the final year of his contract, Duranville. I thought Mitoma had buried it then. Excellent start from Mitoma. Comes on and makes an impact immediately. Had the Munich goalkeeper worried there for a second, I think. But yeah, Duranville, one of the players who could be gone next season. We'll have to see how much time he gets on the pitch and what he does with that. We do also have Nico Schlotterbeck on an expiring deal. He's certainly going to be staying, though. At least we certainly want him to stay. Couto just goes back to Mecha. Kivior wants it. Mecha will just go to Zabitzer, though. Tries to slot it in behind for Mitoma. And I think it's going to be a... Oh, it's offside. Bayern Munich free kick. As we approach half-time, fairly uneventful first half, really. Both teams have looked fairly bright, but neither side, outside of the occasion on which we put the ball in the back of the net with Max Bayer, neither side have really managed to create a clear-cut opportunity. Several half chances for Bayern Munich. A disallowed goal for Borussia Dortmund. But other than that, a relatively quiet first period. Kivior steals the ball away, though. And if the referee gave us time to launch one final attack, we could have been in behind, but blows his whistle instead. And it is going to be all square at the break. If you're enjoying the game and today's episode, please take a second to like the video. And if you want to see more realistic FC25 content, be sure to subscribe, not just to catch the next episode of this series, but other realistic career modes, realistic rebuilds, slider updates that might be dropping in the future. And if you want to get ahead of the curve and see those kinds of videos before anybody else, consider becoming a 12th man member of the channel. Membership starts at just $1.99 a month and grants you exclusive early access to all new videos, with tier rewards scaling up from there and including the possibility of being featured in my career mode saves. Thank you to everyone who is already supporting the channel through their membership. It is genuinely very much appreciated and helps the channel to run. But now let's head back out for the second half. So no additional changes as we emerge for the second half. Just Mitoma on the left-hand side, on in place of Jamie Gittins. And we're going to hope to see a bit more of an impact from our forward pair in Max Bayer and Yusufa Moukoko in the second half. Perhaps immediately, as Mitoma gets in behind. Moukoko with a good initial touch, but can't wriggle past the Munich defender. Bayer and Moukoko both had excellent seasons last year. They, along with Serhou Guirassy, by far the biggest contributors in terms of goals and assists. And the future of Borussia Dortmund certainly looks bright with those guys up front. Great challenge from Kivior. And again, Mitoma could be in behind here. Palhinha chasing him back. Nowhere close to the pace to keep up with Mitoma, though. And it's a deep cross towards the back post. Bit too deep for Max Bayer to get on the end of, unfortunately. I am playing today's games with a slightly updated slider set. Version 8.1. I did post in the community tab here on YouTube and in my Discord server. So check out the slight tweaks that I made to version 8. I will not be posting a full video breaking down the changes because there are very few changes to make. However, those handful of changes are significant enough to share with you guys. So check out version 8.1 in one of those two places. Make sure you join the Discord server as well. We have a lot going on in there at the moment. And a lot more going on in there than we have had really at any point up until Harry Kane. Oh, that's such a good pullback. Such a poor finish from Davis, though. Petrovic saves comfortably. That pass from Harry Kane was nasty. Davis now caught out of position. Jan Couto looking to exploit that. Max Bayer the same, and he can't quite get there. But not quite clear from Bayern Munich, though. And Adeyemi tracking back. Thankfully, that was Alphonso Davies who found the ball at his feet after Harry Kane squared it. So if it was the likes of Jamal Musiala or Ben Seguir, then likely we would be a goal down at this stage. Pinball in the box. Elise keeps it in. Just allows Petrovic to claim, though. So yeah, join the Discord if you haven't already. Slider updates are always posted there, and I've posted the link to the live slider update spreadsheet there too. And in addition to following my own career modes, as Moukoko is in behind and finishes to take the lead just short of the hour mark, and moments after Bayern Munich should have had the lead at the other end. And Nuri Sahin, still dressed to the nines, is thrilled that his young striker has managed to take the lead in the game. Jamie Gittins there celebrating on the sideline as well. Surely a positive sign. Potentially a sign that that injury isn't too bad and that we won't be without him for too long. But just moments after Bayern Munich and Alphonso Davies should have grabbed the lead, Yusufa Moukoko has picked up where he left off last season and has given us the lead here with half an hour to play. Davis, great challenge from Couto, and the referee agrees. But like I was saying, not only can you follow my career modes in the Discord server, but you can follow a number of other career modes as well. We have several people posting threads for their own career modes there, which are thoroughly engaging to follow. Couto delivers deep towards Mitoma at the back post. Zabitzer brings it down, finds Mitoma, who spots Adeyemi punched clear by Bayern Munich. Zabitzer nods it down to Matoma. He finds Max Bayer and Felix Metscher. Just play it into the feet of Adeyemi, who twists, turns, just goes back to Zabitzer. He lofts it up towards Matoma. Nice football around the edge of the Bayern Munich penalty area and just tried to slide it in behind for Max Bayer to put the finishing touch to the move, but cut out well by the Munich defender. Kane finds Elise. Really nicely worked again, and Kane from range absolutely buries it. What a finish from Harry Kane. Bayern Munich level. Really nicely worked move from Bayern Munich, to be fair. And it wasn't Alphonso Davies with the ball at his feet on this occasion. It was Harry Kane. And it's a clinical finish. Not that we can really see it. 67 minutes into the game. So I think we will hold off on substitutions for another 5 or 10. And then potentially make a couple more to try and win this game in regulation. I believe we'll be going Matoma. Why are you running towards me? I believe we'll be going straight to penalties if the score is still level after the regulation 90. Don't believe there is any extra time. Musiala beats Kivior for pace and with skill. Can't beat Anton though, but will go out for a Bayern Munich corner kick, however. And we will see Bayern Munich make a change here. Gnabry on for Benzema will make a change as well. And it's going to be both of the debutants to come on. Thiago Thomas on for Yusuf and Mukoko in that false 9 role. And it is going to be Felix Metscher to make way for Arne Engels. I was tempted to bring, as Munich win the header at the back post. Thankfully wide though. And there is Jamie Gittins again. Clearly comfortable enough to be out on the sideline rather than in the locker room. I was tempted to bring Marcel Zabitzer off. However, if we are going to penalties, I would much rather Zabitzer was on the field than Felix and Metscher. One of our better penalty takers, Zabitzer. So Engels will come on to replace Metscher instead. So it'll be interesting to see how the, well, I was going to say the youngsters. They are fairly young. But I believe Thomas is 24, Engels potentially 23. So not exactly youth players. Just about on the cusp of still being able to be referred to as a youngster. Bayer, Couto finds Engels, who finds Zabitzer, who takes a touch and strikes, blocked, but it does fall almost for Zabitzer. I thought we were going to be able to get a second strike away with him there. Almost dropping back to press Kimmich. But Munich, as ever, keep the ball very well. And Elise finds Kane. Musiala, one-on-one with Anton. And Elise up in support now. Kivior doing a good job of defending though. As is Zabitzer dropping in deep. Engels on the edge of the box there too. Harry Kane, big save from Petrovic. Just had to try and keep the ball in front of us there. Make sure we were well positioned to either make a block or to force the shot from a narrow angle. And it's another big save from Petrovic, who has been impressive. Most of the saves fairly routine so far. He hasn't been hugely tested. But he's certainly been solid in what he's been asked to do so far. And that is an excellent save. That was a real test. And Petrovic rose to the challenge. Fantastic save from point-blank range. Ito, pressed by Thomas. He's absolutely done him there. Palhinha. Pavlovic. Bayern Munich certainly pressing for the winner here. And the ball does go out of play, thankfully. Just trying to grab Adeyemi there to bring him back to a more defensive position. Bayer almost has the beating of Davis, but not quite. Couto just has to go back, and there are just no options there. Engels poorly positioned, but very few support options for Jan Couto, to be fair to him. And Munich on the counter-attack now. Anton cuts it out. Zabitzer will find Thomas. Couto short on energy at the moment. Probably has to make way for Frankowski before too long. We'll just keep possession through Engels initially. Omaracic. Anton. Just finds Zabitzer. Finds Matoma, who's dropped a little deeper to collect. And again drives. Cuts inside onto his right foot. Finds Engels. Who finds Couto, who will loft it up towards Adeyemi, who surely has scored the winner 5 minutes from time. We said we wouldn't have as many targets in the box. We put the ball in the back of the net with a header with Max Bayer in the first half. That one was chalked off. But we've done the same here again with Karim Adeyemi. So I am currently eating my own words. Couto with a perfectly delivered cross. And Adeyemi is not even with the head, it's with his chest. He's chested it in to win the game. Surely to win the game. 5 minutes to hold on. 5 minutes to come away with trophy number 2. So we will just make our last couple of changes to try and hold on to this 2-1 lead. Frankowski and Koulibaly each on to provide some fresh legs and hopefully a bit more defensive solidity for the remaining 5 minutes or so. Not sure how much added time there will be to come. It's Frankowski. His first action is to give away a free kick in a fairly dangerous area. Just laid off short though. Probably a poor decision from Bayern Munich there, although they have worked it into an opportunity. Nodded down. We just need to force Bayern Munich back here. Not really managed to do that though. And it's a good challenge from Engels. And Gnabry finds Pavlovic. Headed clear by Koulibaly very bravely. And Thomas goes up to try and win his aerial duel as well. Nicely worked from Munich again though. And it's a big save from Petrovic. No idea how Bayern Munich managed to squeeze the shot in there, but they did. And Petrovic once again keeps us ahead. Mitoma, big switch of play, finds Max Bayer. And I think we'll just hold on to the ball here. Had an opportunity there, it looked as though we might be able to put the ball into the box and grab a third goal to secure this victory. But that chance has gone and we will just retain possession in the corner to see out these 2 minutes of additional time. Adeyemi. Frankowski will just deliver now and Thomas is in the box. Nodded down. Into the path of Engels, and the referee's whistle does go. And we will be putting a second trophy in the cabinet here to begin Season 3. We've closed out Season 2 with a trophy. We've opened up Season 3 with a trophy. And like we said, as much as we want to put a trophy in the cabinet, really we wanted to send a shot across the bow of Bayern Munich. And whilst I think it's probably fair to say they had the better of the 90 overall, we've come away with the win. So it'll be Marcel Zabitzer, one of our 2 vice-captains alongside Felix Metscher, to lift the trophy in Nico Schlotterbeck's absence. And we will celebrate trophies in 2 consecutive games. That's not bad at all. And we have set our marker down well and truly. We've beaten the Bundesliga champions. And to be the best, you have to beat the best. We've beaten the best here. Our ultimate goal, of course, is to win the Bundesliga. And by no means do I think overcoming Bayern Munich in the Super Cup means that we are already well positioned to do that. But it certainly should give us some belief, some momentum, some confidence heading in to our Bundesliga opener against Frankfurt here in Season 3. We will, however, be without Jamie Gittens for the Frankfurt match. He sprained his knee. He'll be out for 4 weeks. So Matoma comes in to replace him. 2 additional changes to the 11 for this one. LAMBZY comes in at left back. Nico Schlotterbeck returns at the centre of our defence. It didn't take long for us to take the lead. It also didn't take long for us to score a contender for goal of the season this year, an expertly placed free kick from Marcel Sabitzer, giving us the lead within 20 minutes. Before an even more expertly placed cross from Sabitzer found the head of Felix and Mecha to double our lead. Frankfurt would have a goal back before half-time, though. A really tidy finish from the edge of the box would give them life in the game. Harim Adeyemi would grab a third goal for us after the break, though. A really nicely worked move down the left-hand side, culminating in another headed finish from close range. And the longer the game went, the more we looked like scoring, the more it looked like Frankfurt were going to be on the losing side. We didn't quite manage a fourth goal though, but we will certainly take a 3-1 victory and 3 points on the board in our first Bundesliga game of the season. And we really should put another 3 points on the board here in our second game of the Bundesliga season against Holstein Kiel. Thiago Thomas makes his debut, his full debut at the very least, up front alongside Max Bayer for this one. And Frankowski also comes in at right back in place of Jan Kuto, and it is another comfortable victory. A couple of goals for Max Bayer, a hat-trick, in fact, for Max Bayer. The first of his goals coming in the 4th minute. A goal for Matoma shortly after the break as well is going to give us a comfortable 4-1 victory. So it's tough to imagine having a more perfect start to Season 3. 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. The victories, including a victory over Bayern Munich in the Super Cup. I guess we could have kept a clean sheet in one of those games, but it's not as if any of the goals that we conceded were particularly poor ones. And we are one of 4 teams to have started perfect in the Bundesliga. Leipzig, Leverkusen, Bayern Munich each doing the same. And we will have an early season rematch against the reigning Bundesliga champions in the next episode. They'll be looking to avenge that Super Cup defeat. We'll also be taking on Wolfsburg and Augsburg in the Bundesliga, as well as Lazio and Benfica in the Champions League. And in addition to those games, we'll also be sending our youth scouts out on their first scouting trips of the season and setting our custom objectives for the upcoming year as well. So we'll get to all of that in the next episode. I hope to see you there. Take it easy.